Get ready because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today, and we've got the inside scoop you cannot afford to miss. The world is spinning faster than ever, and staying informed is key. We're diving deep into stories that are making waves, sparking conversations, and shaping our future. We've got the details, the drama, and the definitive word on what's happening right now. Prepare to be amazed, informed, and totally hooked. First up, we're talking about a celebrated actor who's pushing his boundaries with a role that's stepping into uncharted territory, promising a performance that might just surprise everyone. Next, we're heading to the movies for a look at a highly anticipated film that's reimagining a classic tale with a modern twist. Get ready for a blend of sharp humor, intense drama, and powerhouse performances that are already generating major buzz. This one sounds like it's set to be a cinematic event you won't want to miss. Then, we're diving into a review that promises a deep dive into that same cinematic world, highlighting the magnetic chemistry between its leading stars. This review suggests a viewing experience that's both relentlessly entertaining and packed with emotional depth, exploring the complexities of relationships with a unique flair. And finally, we'll get a different take on that same film, one that zeroes in on the unraveling of a marriage with a critical eye, questioning the intensity of the on-screen conflict and its impact. Stick around for all these stories and more. Make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on, because you are about to get the most electrifying updates of the week. An actor's bold new challenge. Benedict Cumberbatch, a name synonymous with captivating performances, is opening up about his latest project, The Roses, and specifically, a role that has him venturing into less familiar territory. He admits that the opportunity to scare himself a little bit with this new kind of character was a significant draw. This isn't just another role for the acclaimed actor. It's a deliberate step outside his comfort zone, a move that suggests a desire to explore different facets of his acting prowess and to keep his audience and himself on their toes. Cumberbatch is known for his meticulous approach to character development, and when he speaks about being intentionally challenged, it signals a performance that could be particularly nuanced and compelling. The anticipation builds around what this different kind of role entails and how he plans to embody it, promising a fresh perspective from an actor who consistently delivers memorable portrayals. This personal challenge for Cumberbatch hints at a performance that might push the boundaries of his established on-screen persona, offering a glimpse into his artistic evolution and his commitment to surprising his fans with his versatility. It's a clear indication that The Roses is more than just another film on his resume. It's a deliberate artistic exploration. But what exactly is this new kind of role that has even Cumberbatch feeling a touch of apprehension? We're about to find out as we explore the cinematic landscape and the stories unfolding within it. A modern retelling of marital discord. The Roses, 2025, helmed by director Jay Roach and penned by Tony McNamara, is making waves as it reimagines the classic War of the Roses narrative for a contemporary audience. While the original source material wasn't a prerequisite for understanding this new iteration, the film has managed to capture attention with its wildly entertaining story, a feat attributed to its sharp script and a truly fantastic cast. At its core, the film delves into the intricate and often tumultuous landscape of marriage, ambition, and the simmering resentments that can arise within relationships. Anchored by the formidable talents of Academy Award winners Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, The Roses promises a viewing experience that is rich with biting wit and profound emotional intensity. The narrative centers on Ivy Rose, portrayed by Olivia Colman, a gifted chef whose culinary career is on a steep upward trajectory. In stark contrast, Theo Rose, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, is an accomplished architect whose life takes a dramatic downturn following a devastating accident. As Ivy's professional star ascends, her newfound success and perhaps a touch of whimsy lead to a growing neglect of her family and her husband. Meanwhile, Theo grapples with the jarring shift to becoming a stay-at-home father, a role reversal that fuels mounting tension, ignites jealousy, and ultimately precipitates an escalating breakdown in their marriage. Colman and Cumberbatch are reportedly at the zenith of their acting abilities here. Colman is said to deliver a performance brimming with sharp humor and raw vulnerability, while Cumberbatch masterfully embodies Theo's spiraling pride and deepening bitterness. Their on-screen chemistry is described as electric, creating a captivating storm of moments that are simultaneously tragic, hilarious, and cringeworthy, ensuring the audience remains thoroughly engaged. While the central performances are lauded, the supporting cast garners mixed reactions. Sunita Mani and Encuti Gatwa are highlighted for their energetic and charming portrayals of characters within the restaurant setting. Jamie Demetriou and Zoe Kao also contribute with their distinct comedic and dramatic flair, balancing the film's overall tone. However, some critics found the performances of Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon to be somewhat out of sync with the film's core narrative, with their dynamic occasionally distracting from the central conflict between Colman and Cumberbatch. With such a powerful duo leading the charge, what other elements contribute to this modern take on a classic story? Prepare for a deeper look into the performances and the directorial vision that brings The Roses to life. A relentlessly entertaining marital battleground. In a bold reimagining of the 1989 film, The War of the Roses, director Jay Roach's The Roses, 2025 presents a modern interpretation of a marriage's disintegration, where desire and disgust become inextricably intertwined. Screenwriter Tony McNamara, known for his work on The Great, crafts a narrative that explores the modern predicament of two individuals acutely aware of relationship pitfalls, yet still drawn into them. This iteration, simply titled The Roses, offers an even crueler tragedy, the conscious decision to drive headfirst into inevitable conflict. The film stars Olivia Colman as Ivy and Benedict Cumberbatch as Theo Rose, whose initial meeting is as whirlwind as the original's protagonists. Theo, an architect, enters Ivy's restaurant kitchen, drawn by her sharp knives, but instead of bloodshed, they find intimacy in a walk-in fridge. Their story unfolds like a fairy tale until Ivy's seaside restaurant, We've Got Crabs, receives a rave review, while Theo's architectural project suffers a spectacular collapse, leading to disgrace. The dynamic between Ivy and Theo mirrors the tumultuous relationship of Catherine the Great and Peter III, as depicted by McNamara. He masterfully juxtaposes extremes of desire and disgust, creating a dialogue-driven experience that is both emotionally maximalist and refreshingly distinct in an era often prioritizing simplicity. The film's dialogue crackles with wit, with lines like, "Never leave me, but when you do, will you kill me on the way out?" However, The Roses reportedly lacks the visual inventiveness of its predecessor, with Roach opting for a more sterile aesthetic. Cumberbatch and Colman, longtime friends off-screen, form a compelling unit, operating at a low simmer of hysteria that feels farcical yet believable. They approach sincere emotion with the force of a bursting dam, embracing love and hate with equal decadence and lack of restraint. The supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, is noted for its American eccentricities, with Samberg playing a gun-obsessed liberal and McKinnon his wife, whose interactions with Theo are described as aloof and occasionally jarring. Despite these critiques of the supporting players and the film's visual style, the central performances of Colman and Cumberbatch are consistently praised for their ability to carry the narrative and deliver a relentlessly entertaining experience. The Roses is set to release on August 29th, promising a compelling exploration of a modern marriage's unraveling. While the central performances are a major draw, how does the film's overall direction and its supporting cast contribute to the narrative's impact? We'll explore these elements further as we dissect the critical reception of The Roses. A marital meltdown that tests patience. The Roses, directed by Jay Roach, the mind behind the Austin Powers and Meet the Parents franchises, offers a modern adaptation of Warren Adler's 1981 novel, which was famously brought to the screen in 1989 by Danny DeVito. This 2025 iteration, starring Olivia Colman as Ivy Rose and Benedict Cumberbatch as Theo Rose, delves into the acrimonious breakdown of a marriage, a portrayal that has been met with a critical response, suggesting a sense of discomfort and a desire for resolution. The film presents a couple, Ivy, a chef with burgeoning success, and Theo, a once prominent architect whose career has faltered, whose playful barbs escalate into vicious attacks as their fortunes shift. Ivy's Crab Shack transforms into a multi-location success, making her the primary breadwinner, while Theo faces professional ruin after a project collapse, captured in a viral video. As their roles reverse, with Theo becoming a stay-at-home father who channels his frustration into transforming their children into fitness robots, their marital discontent becomes palpable. The script, penned by Tony McNamara, attempts to capture the escalating discord, but critics argue it doesn't provide enough substance to sustain audience investment in their volatile relationship. While Colman and Cumberbatch are acknowledged for their skill and charm, the film's tone is described as whiplash-inducing, oscillating between cutting insults and moments of seduction without sufficient depth. The supporting cast also receives criticism, particularly Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, who play a couple with an unexplained obsession with guns and their own marital issues. Their performances are seen as somewhat out of place, with McKinnon's contributions feeling particularly disconnected. The film's depiction of marital conflict, while intense, is ultimately seen as unpleasant and noxious by some reviewers, leading to a sentiment that the characters should simply get a divorce already. Despite the acknowledged visual appeal of the real estate porn within the film, the escalation of violence between Ivy and Theo leaves the audience questioning what emotion they are meant to feel. The review concludes that The Roses offers little in the way of healthy ways to handle anger and resentment, likening the experience to being trapped with a couple who cannot move on, ultimately suggesting that walking away from each other would be the most sensible course of action. Given these varied critical perspectives, how does the film ultimately leave its audience feeling about the escalating conflict? We'll continue to explore the impact of The Roses and its portrayal of a marriage on the brink. That's all the time we have for today, but what a roundup it was. We saw Benedict Cumberbatch embracing a challenging new role, got a sneak peek at the highly anticipated film, The Roses, with its blend of sharp humor and intense drama, explored a review that praised the electric chemistry of its stars, and even got a critical take on the film's portrayal of marital strife. Don't miss out on any of the updates. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below letting us know your thoughts on these stories, and follow us on all our social channels for even more content. We'll see you next time.